Well, after a busy transfer window that saw us break records for record transfer, record money spent in a season, we brought in 11 players, let 11 players go. I don't think Sevilla have ever seen a summer like it. Now we just have to see how quickly these new players can all gel together as we start the new La Liga season. Hello and welcome to Club 6, Part 6 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our first two games of the new La Liga season. We're away against Valencia and home against Athletic Bilbao. And there might just be a couple more signings. The transfer window still isn't closed yet. So, I mean, it's all on my director of football at this point. I've done my business. There's not really any money left for any more permanent signings. I've done my bit. 11 in, 11 out, 70 million spent, nearly 50 million brought in. Not bad when we had a budget of 4 million and we've still got it now. The joys of the never, never. I've probably ruined the financial future of this club. I've overspent on a few players, but I've picked up a few bargains along the way. And now I hope they can just gel into a team. That's what we're looking for at this point. But he might bring in a couple of loans. Who knows? So this is the team that we're putting out there for the first day of the new season against Valencia. Remember, the team who turned me down, my official Spanish nemesis. And we're going with Markovic in goal. Garcia, Sanya, McCrory and Bustos as our back four. Moreno, O'Neill and Mosca in midfield. And Garcia, Jovic and Pozo as our front three. Only 4 of those players, I think, were here. Well, certainly only 4 of them played in the last game of last season, I think. No, only 3 of them played, maybe. I don't think Sanya started. So it would have been McCrory, Moreno... Oh, no, 4. McCrory, Moreno, Garcia and Pozo are the 4 who were here at the end of last season. Sanya was around the place but wasn't really playing, and the rest of them are all new signings. Let's hope they gel really quickly. I mean, they did. They did learn to play this system very quickly last year, but there's not really a fair way to judge when it was a completely different set of players. I am hoping for a performance today, though, against the team we could have ended up. How much would we have spent there? Because they had money to spend. We didn't, and we spent 70 million quid. So we want to... I don't know. That one seems appropriate. Come on, lads, show me what you can do. It's a completely new-look team. We've had a successful pre-season, not just in the transfer market, but also our friendlies have all gone quite well. But we didn't play a huge amount and we didn't really play anyone good. So it's really difficult for me to know where we are as a team at the moment. We finished 8th last season. We also finished the season top of the form table. But there's not much of that team still here. I think I've improved the squad overall and improved the team overall. But obviously they are going to take some time to learn Spanish, a lot of them, to get used to each other. Garcia, that was just terrible. Utterly terrible. So I don't expect us to start the new season top of the form table. I think it's going to take us half a dozen games or so for these players to get to know each other. It's always difficult when you make this many signings in one go, especially when one of the new boys goes and does that. Is our goalkeeper wearing number 2? I might have to resign. Pause. How on earth has that happened? That's hideous. That is hideous. That might be one of the worst things I've ever seen. He's got the number 1. Right, he needs to play then. Markovic, I'm sorry. I know I had high hopes for you, but auto-picking squad numbers has ruined any chance you had of a career at Sevilla. I'm tempted to sub him off immediately. I don't know if I can live with a goalkeeper wearing number 2. Oh, and that's why he's rubbish. Oh, it's not starting well, is it? Oh, I feel like I've improved the team. They might be disagreeing with me at the moment because Valencia were rubbish last season. I don't know what kind of summer they've had, but we have not started this game very well at all. And I think we need 10 minutes of passion early on because... this has been... I mean, O'Neill is a World Cup winner. McCrory's a World Cup winner. A World Cup winning wonder kid who's just frustrated in our midfield now. And, worrisome. This is worrisome. We need aggression. I need a much better showing in this second half. We absolutely need to turn this around. And, I mean, we've not even had a shot. We've controlled possession nicely, knocking the ball around, super fun and all that. But we've not even had a shot. And that is not okay. Garcia at left back. He's the one player my director of football brought in, and he's had a terrible start. Calvillo is a youngster who's come through our youth system, and I think I'm going to bring him on. Centelles is injured at the moment, but he will be straight back in this team just as soon as he's fit again, because I can't be having players playing as poorly as he has today. Right, the good Garcia plays it forward to Jovic, who we haven't seen anything of yet, and I don't think it's for any fault of his own. The ball's not really been in the Valencia half yet, so our lone striker hasn't had much of an opportunity to show us if he's any good or not. The midfield is what's particularly disappointing me, because we've spent so much money on the midfield, spent so much time putting it together, and we're just not controlling the game. And questions need to be asked about this new goalkeeper. Angulo forced through a move to Tottenham. We brought in what I thought, what star ratings thought, was a goalkeeper who was just as good as him. He has not had a nice start to his career at Sevilla. Poor old Markovic. This is what happens when you put the number 2 on him. It's all gone very wrong very quickly. Pozo's picked up some kind of knock, or he's tired, or there's something wrong with it. This has been possibly the worst. I think I had one of my best transfer windows ever yesterday, and now this is one of the worst starts to a new season I remember. This has been just hideous. We're going to bring Valentini on, because that's what we need to change the striker. I've got to demand more from him. This has been so poor. I rarely remember a performance by any of my teams in this series as bad as this one has been today. And there is O'Neill. First chance to look at our new wonder kid. Mosca can't direct the header towards goal, and now Valencia are on the break again. And it stings even worse because it's Valencia. And, oh dear, I hope this is just one of those first day of the season shocks to the system that you get sometimes. And this isn't an indication that I have destroyed what was a good team last season by ripping the heart and soul out of it and replacing it with a bunch of journeymen and kids. Because that's one interpretation you could take of what I've done. I think I've really improved. I still maintain, at the moment, I'm not going to panic yet, one game in, I think we've improved the team. But this is a team that Real Madrid couldn't beat last season, and now Valencia are tearing us a new one. We're going to make a final change, and it's going to be, we're going to take off the youngster, Paul O'Neill. Mateus can come on, one of the other new midfield signings. Let's see if he's any good. He might be a world beater, who knows. Oh, I'm not happy with how this has gone so far. I don't know if you can tell from my general demeanour, but this has not been the start I was hoping for. I really hope we can turn it around in the next match. I know I talked about half a dozen games. We can't have half a dozen games of this. I don't mind it taking a little while to bed in, but this, we've had one shot and we missed. This is horrifically poor. Mosca plays it over to Garcia, who was linked to Inter Milan and Monaco in the summer. He's a good player. Couldn't beat his man, and now Sanya on a yellow card. Can't take the ball off of his guy he's supposed to be marking. Lindelof is just watching on, chuckling that I decided he was I didn't decide he was surplus to requirements. I gave him a new contract, so I wanted him around for another year, and then he forced through a move, which has meant we've now got a kid playing alongside McCrory. But McCrory, at centre-back, World Cup winning captain. It's not like it's just a bunch of kids back there. Bustos is 34. Oh, Valentini. That's been terrible. Oh my goodness. That has been so poor. Training tomorrow. I need my director of football to bring in 3 players on loan to fix it. I give up already. Well, we didn't bring anyone in before the deadline closed. And to make matters worse, we lost a player as well who, he doesn't even show up on here. I guess he shows up on one of our B teams. We lost a 16-year-old for £2 million.
because his minimum free release clause, and it made me sad, and I don't want to think about him. And also Pozo's injured, which of course is the only position we don't have a backup player in. So Valentini comes in on the right-hand side. Garcia was also had a knock midweek, but he's going to be fit enough to play. He has to be fit enough to play. And Centelle's not quite fit enough to make it into the team. He is up on the bench. Calvillo into the team, and we're pretending... Oh, of course, he's the other change. And we're pretending that left-back from the last game doesn't exist. Although he is ineligible. So, it's his parent club. He wouldn't be playing anyway after what he did. So, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we can perform a little bit better today. We're back at our place. We've had the shock of that first game of the season. We've had a little bit of time to work on the nonsense. And I do expect a much better performance. There we go. Hopefully, we can start playing like the Sevilla team we all know and love from the second half of last season. Because I was really enjoying the second half of last season. I am starting to regret letting quite so many of the players go. Although, really, actual regular first-team starters, Fernandez, but he was 31 and playing out of position. Zazana was a backup. Freiberg mostly, was that even his name? Friedeck was a backup. Busquets was a backup. Lindelof is a big loss. The right back was old and didn't want to sign. The goalkeeper forced his move through. It's upsetting. But we're not playing as badly today, so that's good. We've had more possession than they have. We're still not creating very much, which is a potential cause for concern. I wonder if that might be perhaps the new look midfield hasn't got enough attacking oomph about it. We spent a lot of last season playing attacking midfielders back there. Perhaps I've focused too much on Kev-style hard-working midfielders, and we haven't got someone with the attacking oomph that we need. There you go. Let's dig in. Grind out a result. We need a positive end to this first episode of the new season. We don't want a 0-0 draw. We certainly don't want a home defeat. Jovic is a bit of a worry because he's not played well in either of the games so far. But we have got Dominguez, who is a very promising youngster, who he's going to get an opportunity later on in this game because Jovic is first on my list of players to come off, especially with some of the more tired players around him as well. So Dominguez is going to come on for Jovic. He doesn't want to be a complete forward. Be an advanced forward then. And I really would like to get Garcia off because of his injury status, but of course I don't have his backup, whose name I can't remember. He's not on the bench. So this time I'm going to try Mateus for Mosca. Would O'Neill be better further forward? I don't know. Let's do that. Make that as a double change for now. Hopefully Dominguez is going to be a star. 10 minutes of passion. Let's see if we can grab a goal whilst being passionate about it. Valentini is a broken man. Garcia's tired. Garcia scores. There you go. It was worth keeping him on the pitch. The season starts here, boys and girls. Eusebio Garcia. We turned down a lot of offers for him in the summer, and there you go. That's his first part towards repaying us, because we could have brought in a lot of money for him. We had the opportunity to, and I think now we probably do need to get him off because he's tired. Centelles could come on. Horvath could come on. I think Centelles, as a left-sided player, is probably the one to come on. And he can stay up there. Just play on the left wing for 7 minutes. You're a left-sided player. You'll be fine. I'm protecting my player, who's my star man, and I don't want him to pick up an injury. Is there a tighten up instruction? I know I could change the tactic, but when I do that, it breaks. So there is tighten up, but I wonder if it will let me do... I'm going to confuse them if they ask them to tighten up while we're positive. Oh my word, this goalkeeper. I am worried about this goalkeeper. We cursed him the minute we put a number 2 on his back. Right, there's Mateus, out to Valentini, playing out of position on the right wing. He needs to get used to that this season. He's going to be my Sevilla version of Canoni at Hamburg. He's just going to play everywhere as and when he's needed because he's not going to be a first choice anywhere. Right, watch him be our top scorer again now. Now I've said he's not going to be a first choice anywhere. That should motivate him. Why is Bustos so far out of position? Sanya's there to clear though. And that should be that. We got... What's going on here? Has somebody paid the ref? Why is the match still going on? Come on now. Let's have a final whistle. There we go. We have managed to pick up a win. All the damage of the first game is undone. We're still not convincing, but at least we didn't lose our first 2 games. Gives us something to build on from here, and I think we'll probably do. I don't want to do too many games. We'll perhaps come back for Granada and Getafe, because I can't say them. I can't come back for that. But we'll just do the rest of September maybe. See how we're getting on. That's a difficult double header, but it's too soon to show you that one. So I think we'll do a couple of games from October, and we'll have a clearer idea then of how good we are, hopefully. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.